Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Bitches. Brand new episode. Y'all, come on in, get seated, get comfortable. Woo, we had some good football. Sarah and I were just talking about the playoffs right before we pressed record. We have been so lucky because usually there's some duds, but I feel like this past weekend, the weekend before, the weekend coming up, holy shit.
No, it all ends now. The weekend coming up is a
Okay, yeah. Well, one of the
snooze.
games this week. No. Okay, well, we'll
What?
get to that later. Okay, Megan is
Ugh,
very anti conference championship weekend. We'll get to that later. Um,
happiness. Yeah.
how are my girls doing this weekend? This week? How are we feeling? Meg, still haven't watched Heated Rivalry, yeah?
I've not. I have
Great,
not.
great. Just want to
But
make
like I
sure
know
we're
what
still
it's
on the same
about.
page.
I know what it's
Sure.
about, like and I support it. I support it.
But yeah, I mean, I know what Real Housewives is about, but I have not
And
turned
we
it
don't
on.
support it. So there you go.
Don't
How do you
support
feel about
it.
You
that?
don't
How
support
do you feel
women?
about that? Oh.
Mm-mm. No.
Not
Doing
those
great.
ones.
I'm not doing great.
Why? What?
I am having, and I was gonna ask you guys this off camera. But for the sake of transparency, and we are people, and I know we don't like to do this show in a vacuum. And I also am open to advice and ideas from listeners who are always thoughtful and funny and kind. I
Mhm.
am having a really hard time not feeling full of rage and despair and like utter defeat by everything that's happening outside. And I
Mhm.
have two small children to raise. And when I look in their faces, I am filled with so much joy. And I really try and lock in on that. And I don't want to not be on my phone at all because I don't want to not know what's going on. But
Sure.
there's like a very fine line, and I have not found it, of like being educated to what is going on and not letting it consume your mental health. And I'm struggling. And today's a perfect example because like my baby is not here today. He goes to a neighbor's on Tuesday, so I can like focus on the pod and do some stuff. And so I don't have his face to sort of break up the despair. Um, and I guess I'm just wondering what other people are doing to like move through
I mean,
this.
I think I think you're doing exactly. It's so hard not to be like, feel so overwhelmed, so I just wanna, like, sit in bed and watch Housewives, you know? But I think it's really important that we keep on reading and we keep on paying attention. Like, I was seeing a TikTok the other day that the Minnesota schools are, like, closed. Like, they're doing learning from
Virtual.
home, virtual learning right now. It's fucking insane. I just read this book called HHHH. Highly recommend. It's very, very interesting. It's about an assassination attempt of one of the Nazi leaders, like the second in command for Hitler.
And
And
this is
just
historical fiction
it is
or
historical fiction.
historical.
Nope, it's historical fiction. It's like this author is obsessed with this assassination attempt, which is a real thing. And
Huh.
so it's him recounting the assassination attempt through his obsession with it. It's a really interesting book. I've never read anything like it. Anyways, all of that to say is I just read an entire book about the Nazi regime and like what was going on back
Mhm.
then. And you really can't help but draw all of these parallels. You know, they were
Mhm.
asking Jewish folks to show up with all of their documentation, bring every single paper that you have explaining your identity, and then we'll get you out of the country. And they would put it on a conveyor belt, and then there it goes. That's all of this. That's all of your stuff gone. Bye. You thought
Hmm.
that you were bringing your passport and all your stuff. You were showing up to show that you are a citizen and you belong
Quote
here.
unquote, follow the rules.
There it goes.
Mhm.
Bye-bye. Now the
Yeah.
Nazis have it. And there was just so many parallels that I was just like, Jesus F Christ. Like it was just so depressing.
I have changed my algorithm because it was too much for me
Mhm.
and it was affecting my own joy in life. And, I still vote. I'm still, active in supporting things, but I'm not obsessed with it. I've muted a ton of words. I don't want to see it. I read the news in the morning. My rule is as soon as I reply to something online, I got to get off. you're not
Mhm.
allowed anymore because now I'm too invested. My life is more important. I turn it off. I changed my algorithm to be like funny dog videos, babies. Like I'm just
Mhm.
constantly looking for those so that I'm fed those videos because I would get too sad. And it's not that I
Mhm.
don't think that what is going on in the world is important. I think I'm still as a as a writer, I have to be very aware of pop culture and news topics. But as a human being and for my own sanity, I don't have to know that much.
Mhm.
And I think that, like, the last part for your own sanity, it's like dealer's
Mhm.
Mhm.
choice. I think, like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
know about what is going on because I think we have a responsibility, especially because 'cause we're white and, we have a responsibility to know that other people are going through really, really hard times, but also it's so bleak right now, it is very easy to get
Mhm.
depressed. So
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah, and I think you're also fed the bleakness, and I think that they know that the more that you watch that, the more they'll feed you so that it could feel like there's so much more of it happening in the world. And obviously, it's extreme and it's more than it's ever been. But I also don't know like how much of it is is
that's
actually,
what's
like
that's what's
actually
so
real. Like
scary.
I'm
Yeah.
scared of, like, what I'm being told, making me feel like the world is ending and it's doomsday and everything is gonna be gone and everything is gonna be over, and I'm like, "Is that true?" Because, like,
Mhm.
I I I don't know, like, if I'm just seeing, like, bits and pieces and choices, it's like,
Totally.
when I watched The Sopranos, I binge watched The Sopranos for a whole season, and I was angry, I was yelling at people, I was eating tons of pasta. I was like
Same! Oh my
yes,
god, that
like,
happened to
drinking,
me!
and you just start embodying what you're watching, and so
Mhm.
I don't know if by watching stuff makes people react and start acting more aggressive towards the world and the culture just because you're seeing it,
Yeah.
and I just don't wanna always be reacting to what I'm fed.
Mhm. I do, and, like, to be honest, I am in a red state right now.
Mhm,
I am not I keep saying, I'm at an away game.
mhm.
I'm not on my turf. And I see social media posts, videos of women who look just like the 3 of us in Minneapolis saying, "I don't think you guys understand how bad and scary it is here right now." And I don't want to look away from that because they are asking from the bottom of their heart for us to not look away. And so
Mhm.
it feels irresponsible for me. That's just my own personal feeling to be like, this woman is a public school teacher and she is saying, please hear me. These children cannot come to school. We cannot go on a field trip because we are afraid for their safety. And I don't want to tune that out, but I want to have a way to measure it. And probably measuring it is raise my children with love, take them to museums, expose them to different kinds of people, celebrate their two heritages that are of different races and of different traditions. But it's a woman was murdered who looks just like us, and
Mhm.
nothing is going to happen
Shot
to
in the
that man.
face. Shot
Yeah,
in the
and
face.
that's just like it's like a nightmare that like comes and
Mhm.
no one should be murdered and have nothing
Mm-mm.
happen to them. Like, I mean, have nothing. Like, if you murder someone, there should be repercussions. I think that's
Yeah.
like base level. But you're just like, oh my god, I thought like I keep thinking it's the breaking point, and it's not. And so it is. There's a level of desensitizing that is really sitting in my
Yeah,
colon.
I'm yeah, it's down there for sure. I'm really glad that you brought this up, Meg, because I feel like, you know I feel a responsibility with this podcast, and I think that people are I'm always seeing like tweets and like messages on Discord. Like I was having a really shitty day, and then the episode came out, and now I'm laughing along with my gals. And I think that it's so easy to tune into like podcasts and entertainment and listen to books, and you do sort of get to check away from life for a second. But I think that Meg brings up a really good point in that like it's weighing heavy on us and it's weighing heavy on our hearts, and we are feeling these things, and we don't want you to think that we're not. So thank you for speaking up and saying that. But I'm really happy that this podcast brings people joy and can kind of, give people a little bit of a break from the shitstorm. Like I just read the news. Now I want to hear about Mike Tomlin perhaps impregnating a woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
That's
like
what I need.
sports is such a good outlet, and it's like such a wonderful place to see joy. I just wish I could also tweak the algorithm of the commercials that are played during athletic games, because I'm like, I don't want to see that shit right now. I'm here.
Sarah,
Just show me recipes, please, just show me buffalo chicken dip recipes during the divisional round playoffs.
Sarah, what in the hell happened to our AT&T college football commercial is what I want.
Yeah.
You know what? I got a residual the other day.
So
Did you get one?
Should we
Yeah, I
compare?
was like, I've never seen it.
So it's somewhere.
I'm guessing that it's
guess.
online. I mean, I was wearing Ohio State gear, so I'm guessing mine's in Ohio. You know what I mean? Like it's probably like local.
I want to
I
see
feel
it.
like somebody would have tagged me
Me
because
too.
I was dressed as a full man. I had a belly. I had a mustache. I think people would have been like, "Oh, that's her.
Maybe
I
I've
need
seen
to-"
it and didn't know it was you. Maybe I was
Maybe
just like, who's that?
Hold on. I fell so deep in disguise that it's been on this entire time, and I've not even recognized myself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, I do have a funny story. I do have a pickleback for that.
Okay, great.
that
Love a
sad
pickleback.
shot.
Love a pickleback.
Love a pickleback.
So I'm on Cameo. I think both of you are on Cameo. And it
I'm
says
not.
like, oh, it should be.
Should I be?
People would probably. Well, I had this whole big thing with Cameo where they disabled my account the day I went into labor with Conrad. And then I tweeted at them like, had my baby. Sorry I didn't get to my cameos. Thanks for disabling my account. And then they felt really bad and like readmit, whatever. So like Cameo and we go way back. So it says like I'll roast people and that I love sports and blah, blah, blah. So I keep getting requests now that fantasy football leagues are over to roast the loser of the fantasy football league. It's so fun. And it's like, imagine losing your fantasy football league and then you get a video of a woman you've never laid eyes on before calling you a little baby bitch. Like it's so mean. Like they're like, who is she? So I get to last week when I do, we have so much fun. I get a second one and the guy is so sweet. He's like writing out how everybody did give it. He's like, this guy went from last place to fourth place, which like isn't that big of a jump. He's like hyping everybody up. And so I do this like whole bit about this man. We'll call him Steve. And I'm like, Steve, I think it's time to leave the league. You're embarrassing your whole family. Like, I'm sure your wife is in the background texting her friends, like, oh, no, Steve thinks he's a fucking GM and he loses every single year. I go on like a 1 minute tangent about this. And then I send it off. I get a response from the commissioner of the league. And he's like, a lot of great gems in there. Love it so much. Steve is going through a really bad divorce. And he's like, I can't with good conscience send that out to them because I think it'll push Steve over the edge. So I have to redo it. So I don't make Steve.
And how does Megan not bring his wife into the something? I just like don't even know how you do that.
You're going to be biting your tongue so bad. I think that you should change like your Cameo description to like once roasted a man so badly that I had to redo it because it was too mean and it would have sent him on a
Oh my gosh.
That'll get you booked, baby. That'll get you
up.
Wow. Okay, well, yeah. Prayers for Steve. Prayers for Steve. Is he our
But I think that
sports
also
bitch of the
speaks
week?
to your doom scrolling ways that you even saw the Mike Tomlin story. I have not seen it. All I've seen of Mike Tomlin is him watching his daughter compete as a gymnast at Georgia Bulldogs. That's all I've
which
seen.
I love. And then he tweeted, I don't know how recent it was, but it was like, even my boys know that she's my favorite, which
Yeah,
is
she's a
what my
gym dog.
which is what my dad would always say. He'd be like, yeah, Megan's my favorite. And my mom's like, you can't say that. And he's like, okay, well,
Okay,
she's my
well,
favorite. So
maybe this is even more scandaloso now that there might be, I don't know, maybe there's some things. Maybe he's tweeting out the photo because he knows there's another baby on the way. By
He
the way, we
did
don't know what
tweet
the fuck
out
we're
the
talking
photo.
about. Oh, he was just seen. Okay. I see.
Yeah, no. He was on
no.
camera watching his daughter compete for the gym dog.
Got it. Okay, guys, let's start talking about some football. Coming up on today's show, we've got a doozy. We are going to talk about coaching changes and Mike Tomlin a little bit later on. We're going to talk about the AFC NFC Championship coming up. Woo! And we're going to look back on some pretty sweet moments from this past weekend, which is where I would like to begin because wow. Let's start with the Bears. Hail Mary, Caleb Williams. Oh my God, they were out. And then they were very much back in. I feel like Caleb Williams has just completely changed the way that people think about him in this like one stretch of the last few games. I think that the Bears going into next season should be fucking psyched. What did you
Yeah,
guys think
I mean,
about crazy.
I think it's been the whole season. And, I was telling my friend who's a big Bears fan in our writer's room, Rashida Sheeds, I was like, the great thing about the Bears is this is what happens when you get a really good coach. And you never know what you're going to get with a first-time coach, but you knew he was a great offensive mind and he unlocked something in Caleb Williams. And that was clear all season. I think, I said moving on, at least you have a really good coach. You have a really young team. That's why the Pope likes them. No, that's no way. But I think that there's so much to look forward to. And I don't know if you guys were going to win the Super Bowl anyway. It's like you shouldn't need all these miracles. You shouldn't need Caleb to have to pull off a miracle. It is very similar to what Mahomes was doing in like his first few seasons, where it was just like making something out of nothing, keeping the play alive, which, when you can keep the play alive, your receivers can get more open. As long as your receivers are not DJ Moore and giving up on the play, I think you'll be good. So you just need better targets around you, and you just need a little bit more growth. And that game just came down to veterans and veteran leadership. That game came down to Matthew Stafford and McVay, like having a few more years under their belt and leading a team with more of a veteran mentality. That's all that was.
He was sprinting in the opposite direction. And I'm like,
oh my God, he was basically in the other end zone. It was insane.
And then Cole Kmet is such a hunk. Loveland is such a hunk. There's like actual hunks. Simone Biles' husband, hunk. I was seeing like the Wags fits, and like to get a fit off when it is -7 degrees is like not easy to do.
Yeah.
And they did it. I was joking with CJ. I go, this is how crazy Bears fans are. There will be one guy who calls into the fan and is like, you gotta fire Ben Johnson. Like, there will be a guy who does that. But yes, there's so much to be like, for Bears fans to lose a playoff game in overtime and there not be any mass death is progress for them.
Yeah.
So much credit to Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. I do think now they got a target on their back. It was like now they're good. Their division is still very good. The Lions
they kind of flew under the radar a little bit.
Yes. The Lions, the Packers, I expect the Vikings to probably be better. Like that division is going to continue to beat up on itself. But I only saw Bears fans posting like, what a fun season. Like there was no doom and gloom. Oh my God, when they cut to Sean McVay's face after the touchdown, his face he was just like,
you know what? I thought was so classy was Stafford in his post-game interview was basically like, yeah, that was amazing. Like that was like he even had the wherewithal to be like, that was incredible football. I
Yeah.
thought
What are you
that
gonna
was really
say?
cool that he did that.
3
I know. Well, you
interceptions.
say like, yeah, that was tough, but you know, we move on, we go to overtime, we get the job done. He was just
Yeah.
like, that was sweet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
He did have 3 interceptions, Caleb. And so, like, to Sarah's point, like, it is a Mahomes, like, hey, sometimes you got to take the check down, dog. Like, you
Mhm.
can't run in the opposite direction for 30 yards. And, but it was really fun. And I'm like genuinely sad the Bears are out of it, which I
I
did
know,
not
me
find
that's
myself.
actually crazy that you said
It
that.
is.
I loved that it was a snow game. I loved that we
Yeah.
saw, like, Mike
Well, it
Ditka's
wasn't
in the
snow.
crowd.
It was cheese that they were grating. You didn't know that?
Okay, my bad. It was a cheesy game.
It was from the Gary, Indiana
Cheese in the
smoke.
air. But I
Huh.
just loved and even the game before, just like all of these Bears fans who have not experienced joy in a very long time, like celebrating
Yeah.
with their kids. I thought that was really
Mhm.
sweet. By
They
the way,
have a
I just
quarterback.
had an idea. Meg. You know, I've been sending you some ideas. We got your 40th birthday coming up. I did send you
Yes.
a video of women wearing
Wigs.
fuck ass wigs the other day, bobs.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
if one night we go out, we dress like wags?
Yes.
And that's just to say we get as hot as we possibly can. Extensions, boots. I'll
wags.
wear
And then
boots
people
for
are like, are
you.
those the
Team.
Saints' wives?
Yes.
You
Okay.
gotta put
Actually,
like a number on your shirt. Like that's what
Yeah.
representing the number of the
Wait,
player. That's how
you
you know
have
you're a wag.
yeah. You
What
have
if we wear
CJ. You like
buttons
bedazzle.
with our husbands' faces?
That's what you do for T-ball kids. You don't have to.
Well,
you don't wear a button with
wow.
their.
But that's the equivalent of our husband's athletic
What-
ability.
what is CJ's rec basketball number? You have it bedazzled on a little bag.
Yes. I'm like Glendale
Ayo.
rec league 2-time champion.
Okay, I actually love that, and we should
I
delve
do
into
love
that
that
a
for
little
you
bit later.
guys.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about the Bills for a second because there was a lot of emotions. I do feel really terrible seeing Josh Allen cry. I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys see Deion Dawkins?
Yeah.
In the locker room afterwards, one of the reporters goes, Josh Allen said that, you know, he feels bad. He feels like he let you down. And then he starts crying and he turns away and he goes, he didn't let us down.
I
It's
know.
too
It's
much.
making me emotional.
It was so sweet.
I know.
It was
And
so
Deion Dawkins is like
sweet.
300-pound lineman. Like something about
Yeah.
a lineman crying, I can't.
I don't think anybody wanted the Broncos to win outside of Colorado. I just think because I think a big part of that is Sean Payton. It's nothing against Bo Nix, you know, who is everyone's like, well, Bo Nix is going to be there eventually. I think it's more just like, Sean
evil.
Payton and his kind of like evil, gross ways or whatever. And so I think, you know, everyone was just like, come on, let's go. You got to get it, you know? And I thought, you know, the Bills have not been the same all year. They've not been the Bills of years past. I think that was mostly due to the offensive weapons around Josh and just like a subpar defense. And then they fire Sean McDermott, and it's like not the guy that put the roster together, not
Yeah.
Bean.
It seems like
I mean,
they had to
McDermott
point.
has gotten them there with all of the
Yeah.
tools, but it felt
They
like
had to
maybe
point their
both
finger.
of them should have gone. I don't know.
I did. So I saw something. I knew it was AI. I just want
Oh,
to.
God.
You did? Oh, we're
Not
so proud
again.
of you.
Gators on the
Just want you to
field.
know I knew this was
never
AI,
know.
and it was a headline.
She
It
goes,
was a-
there was a buffalo on the actual
No.
field.
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys
Mhm.
saw
They
that.
So-
played in a big bottle of blue cheese.
It was it was a headline with a picture that accompanied it, and it was Sean Payton dating Erica Kirk. And I was like, this is AI. Megan, this is AI. Do
Mhm.
not. And I actually did an internet search and was able to debunk
Okay, wow.
it. Yes.
Okay,
Good
wow.
job. I'm
You know
proud
what?
of
The
you
way
for
the
digging
world
one
is-
step deeper from just doing one thing
Oh
to
my
make sure it's real.
gosh. Oh my gosh.
That's growth.
So my family that lives in Buffalo was in the Dominican Republic, and they were watching the game at like the resort bar. And like my brother-in-law said a French man came up to him and was like, I wanted the Bears to lose. And it's like, get the fuck out of here, sir.
Bill,
What?
why? I want
No
the Bills
idea.
to
Hold
lose.
on. I need Megan doing more French accents in my life because that was
I do not like
crazy.
Jocelyn. I do not like. They do not have enough wide receivers. They're not a tough defense.
Right? Like, you're not allowed to smoke in Buffalo?
And
I
it's
do
like,
not
you,
like
sir,
this.
Sacre bleu.
I did
they
not
love
like
the
Sinners.
Chanel. Like, you should be with
Sacre
them.
bleu cheese.
Yes.
I used to know how to speak French.
I'm sad. I keep seeing videos of like little Bills fans crying.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
when will they
throw them through a
win?
table. They'll figure it out. Add insult to injury. Bo Nix figured out that his foot was fractured, which no one even knew. We found out after the game. It happened in OT. So shitty. Could you imagine being the Bills locker room and be like, oh,
Yeah.
the
Great.
Broncos are going on and they're not even going to have their quarterback.
Mhm.
And,
Like, that's
and
just
they're going to
so
play
shitty.
our rival, who we hate more than anyone, who's basically getting a red carpet
Which
to the
no
Super
one,
Bowl.
no one
Once.
wants to see the Patriots in the
Do
Super
you
Bowl.
think that
By the way,
do you think that the Bills hate the Patriots more than the Chiefs?
I think there is room in their heart for a hate for both. Because the Chiefs, yes, of course, hate them, but then the Patriots, division rival, and like, I think there
Patriots
is.
haven't even been like a thought in years.
I also feel like this
They've
is a
been in my
completely
mind.
different Patriots team, obviously, than the dynasty
Yeah.
before. Like
The
Bill
fan
Belichick,
base
Tom
is
Brady,
the same.
they
It's
hated
not
the
like
Dolphins.
I wish
This one, I don't know what-
Mike Vrabel good things. Drake May's wife seems lovely, but it's like their fan base does not deserve to win this recent
No.
after being a dynasty. That is
They
fucked
don't.
up.
But when's the last time it hasn't been over 10 years?
Too soon.
Like it's been like
Too
those.
soon.
Why are you standing up?
I'm
Because she's
because I
sleeping
live
with
with
the
the
enemy.
Patriots.
She's sleeping with the enemy. And so here she is. No, it stinks. And like, yes, do I think this backup quarterback not having any game film on him, Sean Payton, despite us not liking him, is like a good coach? Like, yeah, it's like wacky, but it's just like.
So is it Jarrett Stidham that's going to be playing under center for Broncos? Didn't he used to be on the Patriots?
Yeah,
Am I out
he
of
was
my
their
gourd?
backup. He was drafted by them.
Jarrett Stidham, he looks like kind of a
Hilarious.
hunk. He is kind of
He
a
is
hunk.
kind of a hunk. And his backup is now Ben DiNucci. Remember Ben DiNucci had that famous tweet that was just like his like beer glass in an airport bar, like cut from another team again or whatever. And like it kind of went viral. So now he's the
DiNucci.
backup in Denver. But and then Nick Foles. You guys see Nick Foles?
I did
tweet?
see that tweet. Yeah,
Yes.
pretty good.
Epic.
Can you say it for the people that didn't see it?
It said, to Broncos fans, like, I know that everyone's very nervous and upset right now after like such a great season by Bo Nix, but I can tell you that the Patriots that a backup quarterback has been known to take out the Patriots in the playoffs.
Dick Nick.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And
swinging
like
it
he's
around.
retired, so he's like, you can't
Elise
even hurt me.
Vesh. Yeah.
I'm
What the
gonna
hell
talk
does he
all my
care?
shit with my Super Bowl ring and my hog.
I do. I do really. That should be the title of this episode, by the way. I do wish that they signed somebody fun, like that. We got to do another like Phillip Rivers at the end of the
Yes.
season, like signing
Yes.
somebody absolutely unhinged. There were rumors. I was reading you guys the list the other day. Who did I say? Colin Kaepernick was on the list.
Yes, do
Andrew
it.
Luck was on the list. Just
Absolutely. I mean, if
absolute-
Andrew Luck goes and plays for the Broncos, I told you I would end. You would never speak to me again. Like it would be a wrap. I think Cam Newton could be fun. Like
No,
he hates
don't
the
say that.
Patriots.
Cam Newton's an awful human being. I do not
But,
want
like-
to deal with him anymore.
He's like, I'll do it if I get to wear my own hat and I don't have to wear a helmet.
I'm just like, wait, why are the Colts the only ones that do this?
Unhinged
Why,
behaviors.
yes, why are other teams
Here's a question.
for Disney wackiness?
Here's a question. Bill Belichick. We
Mhm.
haven't talked about him in a while, actually. Really want to know what he's up to, how he's doing, how he's feeling. Does he watch the game with Jordan snuggled on the couch? Do you think he is watching this game?
The Patriots Broncos game.
Patriots,
It is,
Broncos.
it is
Patriots
cheer
favored by 5.5.
It is cheer competition season. And so I think he may be like at a cheer competition watching her.
He might be doing her high ponytail, the
Oh
back
my
combing of the
God.
ponytail to
My
make it
Oof.
bigger.
God.
He's busy.
The
He's
last
busy.
time the Broncos and the Patriots met, it was Brady versus Manning
Wow.
in the AFC Championship. Yeah, I think it was
Wow.
2014 or something. And
Who is calling this game? Brady isn't doing. Is that a Fox game? Because that could be really
No,
fun.
it's at CBS.
Ah, a lot of people out on
I
Tony Romo this season.
can I read this Nick Foles tweet and then you can just put it back in like where I insert
Sure.
it
I
back
think you
into
did
this.
I think that you did a great job rereading
Well,
it.
it's just like he's better at it. It says, "Note for the Broncos and their fans. I know it's been an emotional 24 hours. I feel for Bo and the team, and I'm sending prayers for a strong recovery. A positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup QBs in championship-type games."
Great. Amazing. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to edit that. It's just going to stay exactly
Oh,
where that
God.
was.
All right.
So there you go.
It's fine, whatever.
I am
Every
happy.
time y'all are like, can I do that again? I'm like, no.
No.
Because I have to go edit it.
I am happy Cardi B is happy.
That was, yeah, her reaction was really fun. Although, like, anytime I see
Aren't
a
we
video now,
out?
and you should do this, Megan, for your own sanity, is like when you're fed videos of like people getting attacked on the street, see how new it is. Because it could be something from 3 years ago in a completely different situation that they're branding. You know, just be aware because it's happened to me several times.
I saw
But
a
I was
thread the
worried
other
that the Cardi B thing when she was like, "Yeah, they counting us out," was not real, but it was.
Yeah, the internet is just a cesspool right now. I saw a
Yeah.
thread this morning and I was like, this is so funny. This is so well written. And then I looked at the comments and all of it was like, you stole this joke. Here's the clip. Here's the clip from when the comedian did it that one time. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey, boy.
Okay, so Patriots are obviously going to be in the Super Bowl. Would love nothing more for the Broncos to surprise all of us. That would be so much fun. Let's talk about the NFC Championship game. We've got Seattle versus the Rams. Now, Sarah, Rams fan. Me, Seahawks household. Megan, can you just give us a couple of words on what you think about these two teams?
So if I had to choose, I would choose the Rams because I live in Los Angeles. I like an older gentleman still getting it done. Devontae Adams has a partnership with Taco Bell. Like there's upside there. And the Seahawks, I don't even dislike the Seahawks. They seem fine.
Okay, what's crazy to me is going into this game, you have said multiple times, boring. Both teams, boring.
No,
I've also
Sarah
said that.
is who said boring.
I said
I don't care.
I said the Seahawks are boring.
Well, excuse me.
I am not going to watch Broncos Patriots. I absolutely do not care. Well, I'll see what Jarrett the Hunk does for like a series, and then I'll probably have to go change a diaper. Now, the NFC Championship game I will watch because I don't dislike either. I just don't really care.
Okay, well, since she doesn't care, Megan is going to sit here and listen to Sarah and I pitch our teams.
Yes.
I've got a couple of things prepared. Sarah, would you like me to go first or would you like to go
Sure,
first?
go ahead. You seem very eager.
Okay, I don't like the tone in which you just said that, but okay. Here's why you got to get on the Seattle train right now. First off, Rams are so annoying. They are so annoying. In Chicago, at Soldier Field, you know what I heard in the background of everyone's post-game interviews? Who's Rams? Stupid. It's stupid because you know what? SoFi Stadium, it's not even your house. You're sharing. You're a roommate and you're a bad roommate. You're like the gal that I lived with in college that used to break into my room in the middle of the night drunk and try to take a piss in my closet. Okay? That's what the Rams are. Number two, the Seattle Seahawks have played the Rams twice this season. The first time they played, they couldn't have played worse. Sam Darnold had 6 turnovers, okay? They missed their game-winning field goal. They almost won a game that they played so poorly at. Second time that they played the Rams, they won, okay? So keep that in mind. Number 3, we got the dang Pope on our side. We got the Pope. Okay, the last 2 times a new pope has been elected, the Seahawks have clinched the number 1 seed and made it to the Super Bowl, baby. We got the Pope on our side. I know you love conclave. I know you love Pope culture. Get into it.
Catholic.
And then I actually came up, I found a stat. I really want to sound smart here. Since 1975, the highest passing yards leader, who is Matt Stafford, versus the number 1 defense in playoff games, 0-6.
Oh.
0-6.
Probably including a lot of the Indianapolis Colts with Peyton Manning.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
And the colors are ugly, and the colors of their jerseys are ugly. That's all I have.
I'm surprised you didn't bring up metal vagina, because you do know I like the stadium.
Oh, yep. And then there's that.
Are they playing in Seattle or in Los Angeles?
Nope, they're playing at home.
Seattle. Okay. I do
Seattle's
like
the
Seattle
number
as a
1
city.
seed.
I have enjoyed doing stand-up comedy there.
Okay. Sarah, the floor is yours, or whatever, if you even want it, if you even care.
Order in the court.
First of all, I can't even, I mean, the only person to even care about on the Seahawks is Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is the best wide receiver in all of college football. I mean, in all of football this year. Ohio State, take that with that what you will. I will say the Rams, this is their last shot, I think, with Matthew Stafford. I think if he wins this Super Bowl, he retires and we get a little bit of a shakeup, and that could make some news, which is super fun. It's a revenge game against Cooper Kupp, who's now on the Seahawks. Doesn't do much. The Seahawks are also a man down. Charbonnet got injured. Records are made to be broken. Matthew Stafford was 1-9 in cold weather games in his last 10 games, and then he beat the Bears in the snow. Records are made to be broken. The last 2 times the Rams and the Seahawks have played, they are completely evenly matched. They are 1-1. I think the Seahawks had 830 yards. The Rams had 829. They had the same amount of touchdowns. You know, they're very evenly matched. I think it's going to be a really good game. Matthew Stafford has 4 daughters.
Yeah.
He loves them all very much. He knows all their names.
Now, can I
and
just
Sean
remind...
McVay just had a baby. And every coach that has been on the Sean McVay tree has a job in the NFL. Nobody even knows the name of the coach in Seattle.
I don't. What is
And
the
that
Seattle
is so
Seahawks name?
is so rude. Did you guys see that video of Kyle Brandt going around asking people in New York City, "Do you know who this man is? Do you know who this man is?"
And did anybody know?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, chip on the
also-
shoulder. Chip on the shoulder. You're always talking about, they've got a chip on their shoulder. Bulletin board material.
I did forget that Sean McVay personally gave me his ESPYs after party ticket so CJ could come with me in 2017. And I do think between that and the Taco Bell, I got to go Rams house.
Okay, I am. Okay, you know what?
And can I just say,
why do I even try?
I do think that this game is going
to.
to come down to veteran leadership and coaching again. You know, I think for Sam Darnold last year in the playoffs, he was 1 and done. This time he's won a game, so he could be 1-1.
Well, and
so
his name is Mike
And you know what?
McDonald.
I did just Google it because I forgot as well.
I knew it was not Mike McDaniel, not Mike
Because
McCarthy.
it's such
it
a
was Mike
bland ass name. It's not because
Mike
he's not
McDonald.
done great things. It
I
sounds
also like
so
McDonald's.
much like some of the other Mike McDaniel.
Let me ask you something, Megan. What do you think of the term "the dark side"?
Well, it's where I live.
Okay, well, that's the name of the Seattle defense, which is
come on
They
over,
call themselves-
Meg. Come on
which
over.
is like-
That's what they put me in high school. You know what I mean?
it's really saying a lot about it's like Seattle, something in Seattle called the dark side. It's like, all right.
My God, Sarah.
Honestly, if it could be Seattle versus LA in the Super Bowl, I would prefer that. I
1000%.
despise
I
both
really think this
AFC
game's gonna be fun.
teams. And I am both NFC teams I'm totally good with. Like, have no ill will.
Okay, so since this is such a Sarah Rachel Bowl situation, we were talking about what would be a fun bet payoff next week on the podcast. And I think that we came up with something really good before we started recording, but maybe we'll keep on workshopping it. Okay, so if the Seahawks win, Sarah's got to do something Seahawks or Seattle related. So we were like, okay, who's somebody
Drink
of
coffee.
Seattle fame?
What if she has to drive? What if she has to drive around with a fish in her car?
Okay, no. Megan has thrown out some crazy shit this morning.
Well, I
You guys
just
should have heard
throw
us.
fish at people. No, like with Sheeds in our
Yes.
writer's room, her and David Nickel had a bet and between the Bears and the Rams. And since she's a Bears fan, she lost. She has to dress like Mike Ditka for a day.
Fun. So
That's
fun.
great.
So
That's
fun.
so fun.
Iconic man to dress like.
Okay,
I'll be
so
happy
basically,
to dress like Mike McDowell or whoever it is.
Mike
Okay, you-
McDaniel.
Nobody
so
knows. No, it's not Mike
disrespectful.
McDaniel.
Okay, Sarah has to dress as Ronald McDonald. Sarah has to dress as Ronald, middle name
No.
Michael McDonald.
No, Sarah
Michael
needs to dress
McDonald.
like
I'm a
somebody.
wheeler.
That's his name, isn't it?
Sarah's got
I
to
don't
dress
know.
like somebody of Seattle fame. We said Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. I think that could be fun. Sarah, you already got the hair. You
She
just
definitely
have to
has a
throw on a
flannel.
flannel.
And you have to dress like Kendrick Lamar of LA fame.
Yes.
I do not want to get canceled in the year
With
of our Lord 2020.
commitment.
No, I just mean like
I do
bell-bottom
not wanna do-
jeans.
No,
You put on-
I mean full commitment.
no.
No, you
I
have
will
to
be.
get a BBL.
I do like.
Well, that was easy. Zach's like, go Rams.
No, Sarah's gonna dress like Kurt Cobain. If the Seattle Seahawks win, I will dress like, what did we say, a Kardashian?
Kardashian.
If the
Kardashian.
Los Angeles Rams win, I think that's fun. So catch us next week.
But
looking
on the
like-
Discord, if you have better ideas, let
Yes,
us know,
please.
and we will
Please.
take
Yes,
those
let us
into
know.
consideration.
Yes, of course. Okay, absolutely love it. Let's talk next about all of the coaching changes. Okay, so there have been 9 coaches fired. 1 coach has stepped down, which we never see. The record of coaches fired in one single year is 10. So technically we're not tying the record because it's only 9, but it's just insane the amount of coaching changes that we have had this season. I feel like by the time this comes out, there's going to be even more. The most recent is Sean McDermott getting fired from the Bills. What do you guys think has been the craziest change this season? The one that you are most surprised by?
What do you mean, change overall for the
Just
NFL?
like I think that like we were talking before, like I
coaching
think that it's
change.
crazy that Sean McDermott got fired after everything that he has done with the Bills over the last what decade? How long has he even been there before? 8 years?
I think for the Bills, they just kind of hit their ceiling. You know what I mean? It was like kind of like with McDaniel in Miami. It was like I think Tua and him kind of hit their like this was about as far as they can go. Same with Harbaugh and the Ravens. It was like and Tomlin. It's like you hit this threshold and you're not getting past that threshold. What is the issue? And I think for the Bills they should have fired the GM too. But here we are. And so I think what happens is you need a regime change. You need fresh blood. You need fresh ideas. You need fresh way of thinking because, you got to spice it up. It's like if a marriage starts getting, bland, you got to
We could just go find another man.
What?
I didn't say
Took me to
that.
7 playoffs, CJ.
I said bring in Mike
Sarah,
Tomlin.
You're not even
to your
married
marriage.
yet.
It reminds me, the most famous instance I can remember of this working was the Tampa Bay Bucks fired Tony Dungy, brought in John Gruden, won the Super Bowl that very year.
Yeah.
And I remember that being talked about a lot because that's what Bills fans hope will happen. It'd be hilarious if someone hired John Gruden. So at this point,
I know that I think that there are things that you have said verbally or like that I do not think is like your ingrained way of thinking. I think that is something that can like be processed out of you with like learning
I
and
thought you meant me
understand.
specifically.
Yes,
I'm
you
like,
do. You are
Well,
I'm
definitely
like,
part of
no.
that
that.
too.
I'm like, I think my brain is pretty set.
But I think we all like said dumb things and said awful, like as just as comedians. And I think if John Gruden got a coaching job again, that team wins right away.
You're
It
speaking
just-
to when he was, what was he, homophobic or something? Did he call somebody
He
gay?
said homophobic and
homophobic
racist stuff in emails.
and
Right,
which
right.
would not keep him out of getting a job, which will is the fact that then he sued the NFL. And the NFL is not going to allow him, not because he's homophobic or racist,
Well,
but
Brian
because he's
Flores.
litigious.
Brian
I know,
Flores
but
has
I
been
think it's
interviewing again.
I know. I think it's I think it's a slightly different. I think
Imagine
it's
Brian
apples
Flores
to-
got the Bills job, you guys.
well, there was a lot
why they don't-
of said of like, oh, but that's still Tony Dungy's team,
Mhm.
So I don't know. I think it's really,
Comes with an
I just really
asterisk.
like Sean McDermott, maybe because he was
I
so
know.
vocal about his skin cancer journey.
Yeah, but he also compared his team to like 9/11 hijacker pilots.
and they were like, we'll keep him for 4 more years. That wasn't disqualifying. I
Wild
do wonder,
times.
like, if Harbaugh is John, as in John Harbaugh, who took the Giants job. If he's like, oh
Mhm.
shoot, I didn't know the Bills
That's
job
what
was
I-
gonna come available.
Yeah, I wonder if a couple of coaches are sort of kicking themselves because maybe they didn't think that something like the Bills would come available. Like, that sucks.
Mm.
But John
Mhm.
Harbaugh, I believe, is getting paid $20 million a year, so I think he's fine.
And the Bills job, it's you need to win the Super Bowl or you have failed. And the
that's a lot of pressure.
Giants, it's like, hey, can you just make sure Jackson Dart's head stays on? And like maybe we win 7 games and we'll be happy.
Yeah.
And I just really wonder what the Bills are going to do because I think that they need, I think, like,
They need
I'm
somebody
not
like
really
Mike
sure
Tomlin.
what they need. I don't know, though. I don't know how far. I do think that Mike Tomlin has that cap. And like that is where the Bills are now. They keep getting to the AFC Championship and they haven't gone further than that since the 90s. And Tomlin hasn't gotten to the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl in just as long, like it's been since like he had
I'm s-
Roethlisberger. It's a very bizarre
Maybe they call
world and
up, like, an-
economy, and there's not a lot out there.
No, I'm skimming an article right now of like who are potential candidates.
What about, like,
And
Cliff?
this is from USA Today. This is not AI. And it's like eight ideas. All of them are coordinators. All of them are not head coaches, but Brian Dable. So it's like you're not getting a big name. You are getting someone who is young and fresh and maybe has never coached.
I know
think that's
Dable and
actually
Josh
really
Allen have-
exciting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, CJ
I
said
think
let
that-
Haley Steinfeld do it, and I think that's fine.
I think it's hit and miss. You just don't know. Like it's like
Ben
you got
Johnson,
Ben
good.
Johnson, good. You got
Eberflus,
Liam Cohen,
disaster.
good. But they didn't advance. They both won 1 game. You know what I mean? So I want to see next year how Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen do in their second year, right? And so I think when it comes to coordinators getting jobs, that happens all the time. Someone gets a first-time coaching job. I personally like what the Falcons did in hiring Stefanski, somebody who has won Coach of the Year twice. And we're getting a lot of shit.
Team.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of shit for hiring a coach that has such a poor record, and it's like, well, I would really like to see what he does with a team that's not where he's not coaching with 2 hands cuffed behind his back, because that's what you were doing with the Haslams in Cleveland. You know what I mean? And you're forced these quarterbacks where it's like Stefanski's coming in being like, yeah, no, I want to work with this guy with Penix. And you have Matt Ryan in our offices now making the calls, and I think that has worked out well when you have, former players up and, helping you make coaching decisions
What
from a
is
different
Matt
perspective.
Ryan's new role? He's like president of
He's
football
the president of
operations or something?
operations or something. So he
Oh.
works hand in hand with the GM. And, Matt is a very brilliant, he's playoff, quarterback. He was very successful in our organization for years. His lawyers were also very successful in getting us to pay him lots and lots of money. But I don't think that his regression was his own personal fault, but
No, his age.
neither here nor there. But
Former Indianapolis Colts quarterback.
yes.
We do fun stuff. We are
Okay.
fun.
Last season was there,
Okay.
but I'm just saying I think it's a good call. I think having a coach that has head coach experience is something to be proud of. And when you hire a coordinator, you really do not know.
It's a
So,
gamble, but I'm
It's a
excited. But
gamble.
like from our POV, we're not fans of the Bills. Very
Can I
exciting for us.
personally say
I
something
am.
right now? I do not understand how Kyle Shanahan still has a job.
Of the
And then
49ers?
people will say, look what he did with a
Talk
team
about
that's so
hung.
injured. Look how far they got. Why were they injured? Why? Because of the way Kyle Shanahan runs his
Like a
practices.
Thibodeau.
He depletes his whole team's bodies and then is shocked when they tear their ACLs, when they tear their Achilles, when they blow out their knees. I cannot believe this man has a job. He lost the Super Bowl for the Falcons. That's also why I don't like him. But he has
Okay.
also ruined that team.
But Sarah, weren't
Okay.
you also telling us a couple of weeks ago that there was something weird about where their practice team?
And a follow-up to that is that, so yes, it is Aaron Brockovich style, the well is poisoned. And players have now started filing complaints and are following up on that. And I think there's potential for some legal or civil
Hold on.
ramifications.
There's
Okay, so for
nothing-
those that missed the episode a couple of weeks ago, basically where the 49ers practice is near a railway.
No.
Is
What
is
Try
it?
again. Try again.
Electric facility.
Yes, like
something with
some sort of
electrical energy
electromagnetic
power.
field plant. And they said the electric magnitude, the waves that are getting into the are like adding collagen, which are stretching the ligaments, which is why they're breaking.
Idea. Pitch.
I will
Idea
say,
pitch.
Mhm.
What if we did like a serial ass
Yes.
podcast about us diving in and interviewing people about this? And Sarah's our lead investigator because she's so
Yeah.
good at this stuff.
Yeah.
People would listen to that. I'm so sorry to interrupt, Sarah. Keep going.
I don't know how much legs it has. Like, it's
No
definitely
pun
something that was
intended.
going around. And then everyone was like, they've been practicing there since 1988.
The levels have been tested and they are, quote, safe.
Yeah. I don't know.
But who's the quote coming from? Ha.
Whoa, who? It's giving Simpsons Mr. Burns.
I'd be happy to look into it.
Hey,
I
sorry.
pitched a segment on our show with Little John, who's like a 49ers fan, like going around the area and asking people if they were okay.
First fan. Oh, that's Lil Wayne.
Wait,
I'm
Lil
getting my
John is the
Lils
quote? Is the
confused.
Lil John is where the quote came from? Okay, that's
I don't know. but
another episode. I really want to get down to the nitty gritty of what this whole. I've been looking forward to this for this entire episode. Meg, you came on when we were doing our rundown. You said, "Have you guys heard the Mike Tomlin news?" And I said, "What are you talking
Not
about?"
news. I said rumor.
Rumors. Allegedly.
So the rumor is, and it's like I'm trying to. So I'm India
Yeah.
Times is reporting on it. So there
I've
is
seen India Times before.
there is a rumor that Mike Tomlin stepped down because he had an affair and impregnated a woman. And like the rumor has gone so far that like she is named and there are photos of them. So it's not just like, here is this like, now Yahoo. Because now I'm citing everything because of my AI missteps, you know? Yahoo has said like per Steelers ownership, of course, that like this is false and that they wanted him to stay and that it was like Mike's decision, which like doesn't really.
Hmm.
So the source of this rumor is Facebook, Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter. And that is where it is coming from. She is a nurse. There are photos of them together at like a youth football camp. There are no public records or court filings that she has been pregnant or that there are uh, paternity tests. And he has been married to his wife, Kaya,
Mm.
since 1996. But I'm just saying that is what
That's what's
I
going
have
around.
seen on, as you described it, the cesspool that is our Lord's internet.
I'm seeing a tweet right now from this guy named Murray Hill Guy.
Yes.
Breaking news! Mike Tomlin ending his 19-year career as Steelers head coach over a mid-nurse. Stay away from nurses! Exclamation
Like,
point, exclamation
sir,
point.
you should not stay away from nurses. Nurses literally save lives, and they are on strike in New York right now, and you should pay nurses, you fucking idiot. And like, and like even this picture where he calls her mid, she looks so hot.
Gorgeous,
So
yeah.
whatever. But that is just
I
that's the rumor
wonder
out there.
here's the thing, going into the season, I feel like all of us were like, "Is this Mike Tomlin's last season?" It's just so unusual for a coach to step down, especially one that's been there for so long. I mean, how long is
Hmm.
he
19
fucking
years.
yeah,
He was
that's
the longest tenure.
insane.
Now there were like increasingly chance of fire Tomlin throughout the season.
Yeah.
And he may have just been like, listen, Aaron Rodgers, another divorce. You know, he may have
I
been like,
can't
I'm
do it.
good. I don't need to deal with this shit anymore. I'm going to go
Yeah.
watch my daughter do fucking backhand springs.
Yeah. Just go watch the
Mhm.
gym dog.
And he's going to
Yeah.
go be on
And out.
TV. Like the coaching to TV pipeline
He'd
is
be
the
great on
stress
TV.
level is so much lower and the money is the same or better. So it's
What
like,
if
Wait,
he
lady,
is that
what if
confirmed that he's going to TV?
I think it's pretty solid that he would do that for at least a year. What if
mhm.
he replaces Bill Cowher? Would that be weird?
That would be so funny. I have heard, and not from Murray Hill, just on like the rumor mill that he does not want to coach again. You know, like Harbaugh immediately went out and was like, I'll coach you anywhere. You know, like, because those Harbaughs,
Mhm.
those brains, all it is football. Just, it's like a football on a little wheel. And then I think Tomlin's like, yeah, I just coached for 19 years. I was extremely successful. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. I'm going to chill for a sec.
Yeah, I don't blame
Valid.
him.
Yeah, valid. Okay, well, please keep us updated on both the Aaron Brockovich situation in San Francisco and Mike Tomlin perhaps impregnating a mid nurse. And here is where you get all of your news on the Sports Bitches podcast. Do we
Oh my
have a sports
gosh.
bitch of the week to send us off?
I am nominating Elsa Mendoza, Fernando Mendoza, quarterback of the now national championship Indiana Hoosiers. She is the mother of the quarterback, and there have been so many lovely, wonderful stories about her. She is in a wheelchair from MS. My mom also has MS, so I love an MS mama. He spoke to her so beautifully in his Heisman speech, and then there was a video that was making the rounds this week that pointed out that his dad never stands when celebrating a touchdown for the Hoosiers because he is, like sitting in solidarity with his wife who is wheelchair
Yeah.
bound. And they just seem like such a lovely family. I cannot believe this talented, smart young man is going to be on the Raiders, and I wish him well.
But yeah, I saw Mark Davis and Tom Brady there scouting.
Lurking.
Yeah,
Like, there was a picture of
ready.
Mark Davis from behind. He might have the
Mhm.
same haircut as Conrad and just, like, lurking at Fernando,
Mm.
and it's like,
I fucking love that haircut
Yeah,
so
I would
much.
say Fernando's dad is a sports bitch of the week too, just for the
mhm,
solidarity with his mom. But I also want
I
to
love
nominate
that.
Linda Fletcher, who is the Miami. I think he's a wide receiver. I can't remember. Or the running back Mark Fletcher on the Hurricanes. His mom Linda. Uh, is too afraid to fly, but she doesn't miss any of his games. So she has been driving cross country,
Oh my
Arizona.
God, John Madden style. Wow.
Yes,
Get her a
she's
bus.
traveled just in the college football playoffs. I think she's traveled 18,000 miles just to watch her son play.
Incredible.
And
Wow.
refuses to miss a game. And I'm like, that's exactly what I would be doing. I ain't
I
missing
always
nothing.
wonder about these parents and like their jobs. Like it's like, do they
Well,
just
she's a
like
truck driver. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
She's not.
She just changed up her route.
But like they must seek out like jobs that are like, hey, sorry, my son is a wide receiver and I will be going to watch him play. And they're like, okay, great.
Great.
Okay. Clock in, clock
Sarah,
out.
that's gonna be
That's
you with Paige. You guys,
Yeah.
you got
Oh,
a professional
absolutely.
athlete on your hands.
Bye.
I think.
Hope we'll do Zoom calls from the road.
Wild. Okay, guys, that is our
Zoom.
episode.
Zoom sports pitch of the week.
Megan, can't wait for next week's check-in when you still haven't watched the show that we've been begging you to watch.
I'll get to it. Oh,
that's fine.
Naomi and I are doing a stream. Naomi Ekparagan, other podcasting wife. It'll be February 15th. I know some sports bees showed up to the last one, and please come again. We'll have a great time.
And I am doing a really fun show. I'm opening for Eliza Schlesinger. Thank you. I'm opening for her at the Ice House on this weekend. I don't remember the day. Friday night.
The 23rd, January 23rd.
The Football is Sexy Crew. So if you were in LA, come out to that show. It's going to be really fun. Sarah, you're just at the Comedy Store all the time, just being a star.
I'm not going to go up this week because I'm getting actually, I have a show at a new sports bar on Thursday night out here. But
where?
I wasn't going to go up. I don't know. Sean Leary's doing, I forget. I should look. I'll post it. But I'm getting my eyebrows done today. So I'm like, they're probably going to look gnarly.
Done. What do you mean like getting them done?
Like filled in with the tattoo.
Oh, you've got tattooed.
Microblading.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever done that before?
Yeah. I've done it a couple times. But it's been a while and they definitely need it. So they'll be very dark. They'll be the dark side. They're like the Seattle defense. They're going to be the dark side.
Come on over to the dark side. All right, guys. Love you. Bye, bitches.
Bye, bitches.
Bye.